Folks, we are back. It's the Dynasty Football Podcast, and it is the playoff preview edition. I'm John. He's Dan. We're talking all things playoffs. And Dan, speaking of playoffs, let's start with you, man. Last week, there were a couple matchups that mattered, and unfortunately for your guys, you didn't pull through. You ended the season 6-8. You missed the playoffs. I'm wondering if you have a statement for us.
Oh, thanks, John. I'll take the floor here and just say, hand up. You know, we we failed on all levels. I needed help. I needed help in general from other matchups to go my way, and none of those did. So maybe I can take solace in the fact that even if we had one, I wasn't getting in anyway. But F that. This is a team that was built to win now. I traded all my first round picks for the future. So I'm in the lottery right now, and I don't even have my damn pick. I dreading that, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, you can I thought we were built to win now. I thought we'd come through. You can blame it on injuries, you can blame it on a number of things. At the end of the day, honestly it's on me. I didn't per I, I underperformed and I mismanaged the roster. I if you look at the stats there, the in terms of max points, I had the second most max points on the season behind Sammy. So if I was managing the roster, ideally, I would have had the second most points in the league. As it turned out, I had the fifth most points in the league, still, right squarely within those playoff teams. But that's how fantasy goes. It doesn't shake out that way. That's the reason for the head-to-head. So you can have the fifth most points in the league and end up in 10th place. That's not that crazy of an outcome there. So but again, the fact that, the team was put together the right way and then mismanaged on a weekly basis. It's only me that I can look into the mirror and hopefully next year I can take the clown nose and wig off like my friend Ronald here and not, and come back to the glory days and make it to the playoffs like you. But for now my team is trash.
Yeah, it's sad to see, Dan. I mean, I'm sad. I was always rooting for you. So really bummer to see you miss the playoffs. um, and the max points is tough. I mean, because you have a very deep team, and I think that can come back to bite you. Like, I don't know what my max point stat is, but I'm probably close to it because I haven't had many decisions to make this year. So maybe you need to try to send some 2-for-1s, 3-for-1s, get rid of some depth. I will say, you said you're built to win now. I mean, you have a good team for next year too. I think most people would agree with that. So find a way to manage better, I guess. Get the guys in that are going to play well. Guys are playing bad. You got to sit them. Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't help you throughout the beginning of the year. You've had a quarterback issue all year. But yeah, and you mentioned Ronald McDonald. So have you spoken with Bill at all directly about the bet?
We have not spoken directly with regard to the bet at this point. I think we'll see how the rest of his season plays out. Again, I should have put some sort of a stipulation in there that he needed to win at least one game because since we've made the bet, he's like 0-4. He's about to drop out the first round of the playoffs. But again, there's nothing, that was
I
what the
don't
bet was about, was to get in front of him. So
I don't understand that stipulation. I mean, the bet was who finishes first. So
I under
it is
yeah, no,
it is what it is.
I
It's a
get it.
tough
I
as a person who loses a bet, that's a tough remark.
I'm just saying, I pinpointed the fact that his team was on the it was on the decline. I just miss,
You
I
weren't on
was
the
off on
incline.
the fact that I was not ascending to the point that I thought I would be. So
Yep. I mean,
I
it was a
I was,
head-to-head bet. It was a
yeah,
head-to-head bet, and you
that's how
lost
it
it.
works.
And yeah, that's tough.
I
I'm
gave
glad.
myself very little margin for error. So, and
Right.
obviously we continued to error. Um, And
It'll be
yeah,
interesting. It'll be interesting to see who scores more points this week, you or Bill. Just to generally see, and then
yeah,
we'll get into that. We'll get into the matchups, but yeah, I mean the kids at Ronald McDonald. I mean it's a great organization. I volunteered there a few times. Been to a few events there, given money to them. So at the end of the day, if they're winning, then I think we're all winners. So
happy meals on me.
happy. Yep, that's exactly right. All right. Well, Dan, you said your piece. This will probably be a short and sweet episode. We do not have a guest again this week. We tried to get a guest, had some scheduling issues. So it's just going to be me and you, but we have 4 matchups to talk about. So I'm thinking we're going to go through each one, sort of break it down position by position. I got the app up on my phone. You have it up as well. So we're going to be able to get into the details here and break it down. So let's start with the 1 versus the 8 seed. That's TEU. This team has been absolutely on fire all year. They're 11-3, coasted into first place. They're up against Taffy, who I mean has been overachieving all year. He's 8-6. He got in with the 8 seed. He took care of business. He did what he had to do. He beat bye week to get in. Projections stuck on sleeper. I totally think projections are whack, but we got 141-96 right now. So we're gonna go based off who everyone has in their starting lineups right now. We're not gonna look at benches. And I mean,
I
on
think
paper, yeah. Go ahead, Dan.
I think 141-96 is their average weekly points.
Oh, my
But
bad.
it's somewhat along those lines. It's
Yep,
131 to 103.
yep. I'm seeing that. You're right. So, I mean, that kind of tells the story. It's fantasy football and it's the playoffs. Everyone's 0-0. Anyone can win any week. I think last year we came on and made predictions, and we were pretty wrong, I think, on most of them.
Yeah.
We were low on Pauly. We were low on some people. So let's just look at the quarterbacks. Taffy grabbed Aaron Rodgers. Looks like he's going to be starting for him Monday night versus Miami, and Josh Allen on the other side. I mean, you got to give the nod to Sam there.
Yeah, I mean, easy decision there. Taffy's got the young buck in Jaden Daniels, but obviously tough season for him this year.
Yep.
Back out again, and he wasn't going to trust Mariota in the playoffs, so go
No,
with the
I
OG
I don't
Aaron
know.
Rodgers.
I wouldn't hate a Mariota start in the playoffs. He gets a lot of rushing yards. He's been not terrible on that team, and they're playing the Giants. We'll see what he does. I don't know.
Something to consider. There's also the element of wanting the guy on Monday Night Football just
Yep.
to drive it home at the end.
Give him some hope,
But
especially when it's
yeah,
a
I mean,
quarterback. They can always throw 30.
exactly. But
Running
obviously,
backs.
edge goes to Sammy. Same thing with the
Yep.
running backs. Jonathan Taylor in and of himself is gonna give Sammy the edge. He's got ETN as well, and he's got Javonte Williams in the flex, and then
ETN
Taffy.
put Yeah, sorry. ETN put up 20 last week. So that's a good sign for him. Taylor, we'll see though. I mean, they're not going to be throwing the ball. I think there might be 8 or 9 guys in the box.
Good point. Well, you don't think Philip Rivers is going to be slinging it out there?
I don't even know if he's going to be out there, but I don't think he'll be slinging it.
All right, and then on the other side, Taffy with Chris Rodriguez, Kareem Hunt, and who's this guy? Willie Marks, is that his name? Woody Marks
Yeah.
in the
Yep.
flex. All right.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. And then receiver, I mean, God, Sam's got a good squad there. Drake London's out.
That's a injury of note for sure. That's one of
Yep.
Sammy's best players. The other element is obviously because we only start 2 running backs in the flex, Sammy can't get Travion Henderson in the lineup at this point. So it's
Right.
you know,
Right.
good problem to have for him, but worth mentioning nonetheless.
Or maybe ETN sits. Who knows?
Yeah.
So yeah, but JSN versus Indy, that feels like Sauce Gardner's out. That feels like I could see a big game there. But Waddle, AJ Brown, I mean, guys can play. Like they're not bad players on the other side too. And then
Yep.
Sam's got the tight end. Huge favorability there in the tight end spot with Bowers over Njoku, who is questionable.
I
But
mean,
tight
he's
end
the
is
tight
fine.
end university, so
Yep.
that's what it's That's the namesake there. I mean, on paper, we don't have to beat around the bush any longer. It's clear that Sam is the favorite. He's been blowing people out for, I think he's on a pretty decent win streak here.
Yep.
It's looking like it'll go Sammy's way. But again, it was 8-1 in the playoffs last year.
Hmm.
That's why they play the game, so you never know. I also, I'd be remiss not to call out. I think it's hilarious seeing the pictures of Taffy with us up on the big screen, our like two
I love it.
mugs up on the screen there, and he's got the little one and Kim like,
Talking shit.
forcing them to listen to what the hell we're talking about. So it's pretty funny.
I feel bad because we put the baby to sleep and we try to be a entertaining podcast for all ages. When I upload the videos, I say yes, this is for kids. So I want like to
Of
really
course.
reach everybody. That's when I do that on YouTube. We are YouTubers. Hey guys, so we really just want to, apologize if anything ever gets, sleepy. But Taffy, we appreciate the love and the support. I know you got your notifications on for us, so I'll be rooting for you, Taffy. We'll make our picks at the end. But I'm rooting for you, Taffy. Let's move on to the next matchup. So we'll go down to the 2-7, which is Crony and Spitalier LLC versus William Michael Dapkus, your arch enemy. I know who you're rooting for here. Bill at the quarterback position has CJ Stroud. I saw he put in a claim for Rodgers, did not get him. Mahomes versus the Chargers, Stroud versus the Cardinals. I mean, that's a coin flip to me.
Yeah, could go either way. I'll lean Mahomes, but it's a coin flip.
Coin flip, and the Chiefs have obviously been shitty. Running backs, I mean, you have the number one player probably in fantasy. Maybe you can make an argument for McCaffrey, but it's Gibbs, James Cook versus Pacheco and Bill. I mean, just talking broadly about Bill's team, I mean, he has some holes in the starting lineup, but he has two absolute bell cows in A-Chain and Chase. So A-Chain's been unbelievable. So A-Chain could go toe to toe with Gibbs, and then you're looking at Cook, Pacheco. I don't know. I mean, you probably lean Crony Spid here.
Yeah,
Gibbs at the Rams.
you got to lean that way. I mean, it's typically a high scoring affair with games, with any Lions game, but with the Rams as well, they put up points, so I would expect to see points in that matchup.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that is going to be that should be 40-40. That should be like 50-40. I'm looking at the spread and the total in that game.
yeah, so that we should see a good deal of
55 and a
points
half.
there. Woo! Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Um, and
Didn't that
then
happen last year with the Lions in week 1? They went off. Goff went off week 1 last year playoffs
yeah,
versus the Bills.
he's built for this time of year.
Yeah, so that's a game to watch. Lions, Rams. You want to have guys there.
Yeah, and then Bill's got A-Chain. He's dealing with a rib thing, so I don't know. He
Yeah, I
might
see
not be
that.
at 100%. So I don't know. Tough matchup again, especially with Gibbs and Cook. Like it's hard to have a better 1-2 punch at
I
running
know.
back than that.
And A-Chain, you mentioned, so he's questionable and he's playing Monday night. So we'll see if Bill has like a backup plan. I'm looking at his
Hmm.
bench now. He's got no one else Monday night. So, I mean, you got to hope A-Chain, I would imagine he's going to play, but I get nervous when I see questionable. All right,
Right, and
receivers.
he's got a receiver in the flex spot too, so it's not like he's got yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
he doesn't have a lot of running back depth really. He's got um the running back for Washington, Bill,
Yep.
and yeah, and a bunch of backups. He's in trouble here.
Well, A-Chain
If
has
A
to
Chain
play.
doesn't
And
go, yeah,
but I'm sure he'll go. I'm gonna read the note. I'm sure he should go, but yeah, it would be a problem. All right, anyways. Oh shit, that this freaking app, man. League. God damn.
so yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Bill's got Chase is obviously like you mentioned his bell cow in terms of the receivers and his
But
roster
damn
as a
with
whole.
Chase. Did you watch the game last week?
I missed it.
They don't throw to him, man. He had like what did he have last week for points? Not
Seven
it.
7.7. He had
Yeah.
eight
So
targets.
I had a big parlay anytime touchdowns, 5 guys. It was like 20-1, and it went 4-1, and Chase was the loss. So
There's,
Chase,
I think you got some recency bias going with that. He had
I
14
think,
targets the week before.
did he?
He had 10 targets the 2 weeks prior to that. So I think
Yep,
he'll be all right with Chase. But then from there, Jennings and Myers rounding up and Debo Samuel on the flex rounding out his receivers.
yep,
It's I guess comparable or we may
yeah.
even give Bill the nod on receiver if you look
I
at
think so.
Crony and Spids.
Man, Thomas fell off a cliff. Brian Thomas Jr. He
Tough season
projected
for
for
him.
8. Yeah, not good. And I mean, the Jags are good. I don't know what. That's tough. Michael Wilson's been good at a very tough defense. Yeah, I give the nod to Bill on the receivers. DK in the slot, another Monday night. This matchup could very well come down to Monday night with DK and A Chain.
That'll be interesting to see.
Yep.
We got to give Spid and Crony the edge at tight end. They got the number one tight end in the league with McBride there.
Yep.
So again, as a whole, the
And Harvey,
matchup,
we didn't mention RJ Harvey, who's solid
yeah,
in the flex. Yep.
projected for 12 points there. He's a beast
Yep.
with Dobbins out at this point. So projected at 127 to 105. So again, take the projections with a grain of salt, but
Right.
you know, I think as a whole, probably you got to lean towards the higher seed in this matchup again.
Yep. And they've been really hot. Can we go to so Crony Spid last week they went off. Last week they had 156. Week before that, real quick, 104. I guess not great, but I think the week before that they went off again, 160. So they're getting their stride at the right time.
Yep, 100%.
But anything can happen. It's the playoffs. I don't see Gibbs scoring less than 25. So that's going to be tough to overcome. All right, let's go to the third matchup here. We're going to go down to the 3 versus the 6. That's Paulie versus Eric. Projection wise, this is the closest match by far. It's pretty much a coin flip, 118 to 120. Eric, so it's Dak versus Hurts at the quarterback position, and I think we all know about Eric's history with Jalen Hurts. I think the last 2 years, did he get hurt in the playoffs, or did he just play bad
He's
in the
either put up
playoffs?
like he's either laid an egg or he's gotten injured. But yeah, it's been tough sledding for Eric as I think the only manager of all 14 that's made the playoffs 5 out of 5 uh
Correct.
seasons. But still, he's had trouble getting over that final mountain there.
Yep, and to talk about Hurts a little more, I was running the playoff projections, and he needed like 10 points for Eric to get the 5 or 4 to get a higher seed.
To
And
vault over Ian and end up playing against you versus
yes,
the matchup he's in versus Paulie. Yeah.
exactly. Yes. So I mean, I was watching that closely, and Hurts, I mean, he had 2 turnovers on one play. So
That's tough. It's
it's
tough
really
luck.
tough. Threw a pick at the end. Like I'm not high on Hurts, but we'll see. Maybe he could always get 3 tush pushes for a touchdown. So we'll see there. And then talking Eagles, I mean, this is a big Eagles match because now you got to go to the other side with Saquon Barkley. The running backs, I mean, it's some brand names: Saquon Barkley versus Derrick Henry, Swift, Brown. Looking at the flex, it's Kyron. Eric has a receiver, Mike Evans in the flex, but yeah, I don't know. Barkley's projected for 12.8. It's an interesting trade looking at it. When Paulie got Barkley, I guess I lean Eric on the running backs.
Yeah, I mean, tons of intrigue in this matchup. The fact that,
Yeah.
like you mentioned, the quarterback from Philly and the running back from Philly on opposite sides. So depending on the game flow and how
Hmm.
that game plays out, I think that'll have a lot of factor in here in a big way. Um, Again, both of these teams, quality up and down the roster, um, and really kind of close matchup across the board. Hurts is an interesting one because again, he's been down the past few weeks, and the team is sort of sputtering and spiraling. But from a fantasy perspective, any week he could get in a couple of rushing
Mm-hmm.
TDs, he could put up numbers. So yeah, pretty much I guess a toss up on quarterback. And then yeah, I likely which way did you lean? You leaned Eric on the running
I
backs?
I leaned Eric. I did. I mean, but I could go either way.
Yeah, no, I think I'm with you on that. It's
I,
tough.
I I forgot about Kyron down low though. So actually,
Yeah,
that's a
you got to
coin flip
factor
on
that
running
in.
backs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paulie Smart to put the guy playing later at the flex. I always do that just in case anything wild happens. And then receivers. So I mean, one guy who's really caught my eye this year, and I think caught everyone's eye this year, is Wandale Robinson. I mean, neighbors going down. This guy's shown he can play. Nico has been playing better, I think. Right? Did he have a good week last week?
Yeah,
He had
he's turning it on.
14, 19 the last 2 weeks, 14, 19. Pickens, Paulie's got good receivers on that squad. And then we go over to Eric, Diggs, McLaurin, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans. Oof. It's another close one here, man. I mean, Amon-Ra is probably the best of the bunch, but the depth got to go to Paulie.
This is a powerhouse matchup, and I think Pickens would have something to say this year specifically in terms of being the best of the bunch. He's wide receiver 3 on the full season,
Mm.
whereas Amon-Ra is right behind him at wide receiver 4. So,
It's true. Amon-Ra in that Lions-Rams game. That's just – and Kyron. So
yep,
what a good – wow. So you got Amon-Ra, Kyron, you got Barkley and Hurts. There's a few games here that are going to be very key.
absolutely
And then,
pivotal.
yep. And then he also, Eric has Henry and Brown who are facing each other, Baltimore, Cincy. I have some interest in that game as well. All right. Very, very good. Tight ends, Kelsey, Fannin. I mean, Fannon's been great. Kelsey could score. I'd call it a toss up.
Yeah, this
Um,
is going to be the closest matchup. This is the matchup to watch. I could, if I'm making a call early, I could see Paulie with an okay lead heading into Monday night, and Eric needing the Steelers defense to do something crazy against Miami.
okay. I could see that. Steelers D. Right. We haven't been talking about the defense. Steelers D versus Miami. I could see that being a high scoring. Chiefs versus LA. I don't love that for Paulie. Although I don't know. Yeah, the defense. I wouldn't hate getting rid of defense and kickers next year. Is that crazy?
I'd second that. I'd get that to a vote.
Especially kickers, but defense too. I'm sick of it, man. But anyways, let's
Get him
let's
out of
move.
here.
Yeah, get them out of here. Let's just focus on the players. Okay. The last matchup is the 4-5. Me versus Ian. Um, Ian, there's been some guff in the chat. I mean, Ian gave the early GG last week when Higgins fell down for a second. He goes, "Well, there goes my season, boys."
Yeah, he's
So
GG in the whole season. The
he
early GG
GG
on the season.
the whole season, and him and Sam are like the number one don't early GG guys. And then I see that, so it's just like Ian, man, I just get sick of it. So I call him like, all right, Ian mathematically eliminated himself. And now he's like using that against me. No, Ian, that's you mathematically eliminating yourself. I never eliminated you. You have a good team. I'm not looking past you. But the shit he says gets annoying. I do love the guy, but I also kind of hate the guy. No, I'm just kidding, Ian. But let's talk about the matchup. So quarterback. Dan, why don't you start?
Well, it's just kind of, I think it's kind of wild to me that, like, I guess the parity of the league as a whole, like you were in line to if Sam had lost, I don't know, maybe the points wouldn't have worked out, but you were right there, like fighting for the 1 seed. You
Yep.
end up at 4 based off of just, losing to Ian last week, who was battling for the playoffs. If he had lost to you, he was mathematically eliminated himself. He could have ended up being out of, on the outside
Mm-hmm.
looking in. Turns out he ends up vaulting all the way up to the 5 seed, and you guys end up with a rematch here this week. So it
Yep.
is interesting how that all kind of plays out like that.
And it's our third matchup. We played each other twice. It's crazy. I mean, how often do
So
you see that?
yeah, that's it's
Yeah,
rivalry week
it
on
is.
steroids here.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, again, good. Who won the first matchup in week 1?
Me.
Okay,
So this is the
so
rubber
we
match.
got the rubber match coming down. All
Yep.
right, so I guess quarterback is the apropos place to start. He's got Stafford
Oh,
You
in
know,
that game.
he had been rocking with Daniel Jones for a little bit during the year. Tough break for him. Burrow is back, so he's got a decision to make between Stafford and Burrow. But
Hmm.
again, we talked about the game with the Rams in Detroit.
It'll
So
be Stafford.
he's got Stafford in the lineup right now. Speaking of who's going to be in the lineup, what should we hear from you here for
Yep.
quarterback?
I'm monitoring every week. I have my guys splitting first team reps. It looks like they just got rid of the designation. He was questionable. It looks like he's now not questionable, Lamar. He's not been practicing on Wednesdays. So I guess he's full participant today. I don't know if they know that yet, but they got rid of the designation. All right. So Lamar, I'll take you inside my brain and I'll just talk it out now because I still haven't decided. Lamar is at Cincy. Okay. Um, Cincy's defense, I think, sucks. When I think Ravens, Bengals, I think points. I think a lot of good things for points. I think the Ravens go doing well. At Cincy, I'll be monitoring the weather. Jackson Dart is versus Washington. I mean, you can't ask for a cushier matchup. He's coming off the bye. I'm very much leaning Jackson Dart right now. I think the ceiling is way higher with Dart. I think the floor is lower with Jackson. That's my thought with Lamar Jackson. So I, I don't know. I need to keep thinking about it. I will not be making a decision on this podcast. They're splitting reps right now. So I have Lamar in there now just because he's been there. So he is my starting quarterback. Could I make a switch? I'm probably going to decide at noon on Sunday when I see the warm-ups. I need to see how they look on the field. I'm going to keep reading the reports. Um, but I don't know. Do you have any input at all? Do you feel a certain way?
Uh, I don't take my advice.
I'm
I
not
had the
going to.
worst. I had the
Yeah.
worst start sit. You know, correct guys, or again, the most difference between my actual points and my max points of anybody. So
Yeah.
I have no insight there, but
You
I
know
know
what,
the
Dan?
whole league will be. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
maybe don't. Yeah, don't give an opinion then. Actually, I appreciate that. You were saying though, the whole league will be watching.
Just exactly, and waiting with bated breath to see which direction
Yep.
you end up going there.
Gun to head
Let's
right. Sorry, gun to head right now is Jackson Dart. Gun to head right now is Jackson Dart because I mean we need to talk another minute about this. So Lamar last week played like shit and then woke up with 22 points at the end, but he played bad. And then
yeah.
7-7-6. And then week 10, 16, 25. And then that was coming back from the injury. Jackson Dart versus the Pats, he had 13, and then he was concussed. But 26, 27, 19, 31, 20. I'm making the switch.
I mean, yeah,
I
before
think I'm
the
making the switch.
injury, he had 4 out of 5 weeks where he was a top 7 quarterback. 3 of those weeks he was in the top 3 in the whole league for scoring. Like he was rolling at that point. Lamar again has been sort of, you know, he looked rough obviously the 3 weeks before last week's game. So
And the Commanders' defense is slow as fuck, which
yeah,
makes me like it. And I think Jackson Dart, like, I love the interviews when they're like, "Oh, you gotta get out of bounds, you gotta slide, blah blah blah," and he's like, "You guys watch me play like college, like high school, like this is the way I play. Like I
yeah,
play this way." So like, Dart, if you're gonna go out and get concussed, that's fine. Just do it in the fourth quarter. Like let's have a game first. So yeah, I just made the
that's the
move.
attitude.
I have Dart in there right now, so that's actually a big thing that I made that switch. We'll see what happens. All right, move to running backs, Dan. You can tell us about the running backs.
So yeah, you're on your side. We got CMC, obviously one of the top players in the league, basically perennially.
Great
Uh,
matchup. Great matchup.
yep,
Off
for
off a
sure,
bye.
for sure. So he's in a pristine spot. You got Josh Jacobs that's sitting in your flex right now, like you talked about. You put the guys with the later games in the flex spot to give yourself the flexibility, if you will, to
Nice one.
change those out. And then finally, you got Tracy, which is interesting because he's the running back on the same team as Jackson Dart. So
Yep.
certain people think different types of ways around having a QB and running back on the same team
Mm-hmm.
on your roster. But so you got those three, and then on the flip side, Ian's going to be rolling out Bucky on Thursday night against Atlanta. And then he's got Rico Dowdle, who's obviously cooled down a little bit, but has had a great season against New Orleans on Sunday, and then Aaron Jones back at it in the Minnesota backfield against Dallas on Sunday Night Football.
Yep. So Rico may not be playing because he has T. Higgins on his bench right now. I don't know if Higgins is going to play or not. I would guess that he is. So I'm assuming that Dowdle's out. Jones will go up to the running back spot, also questionable. Yeah, Ian's got a few questionable guys, and Higgins will play. But I mean, I definitely like my side on the running backs. Anything can happen any week, but I feel like running back is the strength of my team.
Yeah, you got to lean with CMC alone.
Yep,
You got to say that's the gets the advantage there, the check mark when we're going down position by position.
for sure.
Um,
And you mentioned the Tracy thing quickly. I know we're going on about this, but I mean, because my other option, so I have Bam Knight, and I have Booty that I could put in the flex, and I'm not playing Trey Tucker, so those are options for me. But I think I'm going to go Tracy, and he's a pass catching back too. I could just see but also maybe I go Lamar Jackson and Tyron Tracy. We'll see. Anyways, on to receivers, Dan.
on to receivers, John. Who you rocking? You obviously made the midseason move to acquire Puka. He's your wide receiver one. You also got QJ and Godwin. Whereas on the other side, Ian's got Tet and Ibuka, the two rookie phenoms, as well as the old head Devonte Adams to round out his starters there. And as you mentioned, we'll likely see Higgins make the move into the lineup as well.
Correct. And Ibuka, I didn't realize that he's been really cooled off. I'm ready for him to wake up, though. Especially, I don't know. I could see him having a big game. I've been talking him up all year, so I'm prepared for a 20 spot for Ibuka. I'm counting on it, actually. Adams, I mean, all he does catch touchdowns. He's the new Chris Carter. And it's kind of pissing me off, obviously. And Tet, I guess, is good. I don't know. I don't really watch the Panthers play. Tet's good, I guess. 11, 10, 29, 8, 6. Um, I think it's a coin flip on the receivers. Godwin's been playing better. Quentin Johnson's not good. And Puka, I'm very happy about my Puka for Chase trade. Honestly, I just the more I think about it, I don't have any regrets about that trade. I don't think Bill does either. So I would rather have Puka this week than Jamar. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I'd rather
Yeah,
have.
I think that is a coin flip. The Puka Jamar thing. I think the receivers as a whole, you versus Ian, is not a coin flip. Sorry to say, I think Ian gets the edge here. Puka is the best of the bunch, I would say, but I don't think he himself overcomes what Ian has with Higgins and Adams, as well as Tet and Ibuka. As you mentioned, Ibuka's fallen off lately, and Mike Evans is back this week, as well as Jalen McMillan for the Bucks. So
Could hurt
uh,
Godwin though. That could
yeah,
also hurt.
so I was just gonna say that affects both of them. So
Yeah.
um,
I
it'll
could see
be.
QJ getting a random 70-yard bomb. Who knows? But yeah, I know. I guess Ian does have the edge if I look at it objectively, but
So
I like my guys.
I think QB is a toss up. Running backs goes your way. Receivers goes Ian's way. Uh, Unfortunately for you, it looks like tight end is going to go towards Ian as well.
Well, I have the injury, but also Jalen T. Warren, 2.7 last week, 9.7 and 7. Juwan Johnson last 3 weeks, 5.8, 6.4, 7.6. So right, Ian might have a 1 point edge at tight end, but I don't think Warren has not impressed me. You can make the edits now when he goes off next week, but Warren has not impressed me. I tried to trade for him this year and was told he's as untouchable as Tet. So
but to you, Warren does not warrant concern.
no, he doesn't warrant concern at all. I mean, Juwan Johnson's like guaranteed to score 6, and then Warren might score 8.
Yeah, or
And
4.
can we talk defenses here? Because I got the Eagles at home versus the Raiders. Ian has the Seahawks at home versus the Colts.
So the
I guess the
matchup for
yeah,
you
go ahead.
is good, but have you seen what the Seahawks been doing lately?
And I guess you're right.
They've
What
single-handedly kept Ian in the tournament here.
19 and 30 the last 2 weeks.
Outrageous.
Touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, that's bad. Okay, good to know. So we'll see. Versus the Colts, is Philip Rivers going to play?
I think he is. I mean, why sign him? Why get him
I
out
don't
like
know.
off his couch basically? I think he's
Right.
coaching his son's high school team. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, yeah, why sign him if you're not going to toss him out there?
He's good for 2 to 3 picks.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
one of them probably housed. So, okay. Yeah, I was really confident when I like started looking at this matchup, and now I'm feeling somewhat concerned. I do love my team, and I don't put much stock in projections, but damn, Sleeper loves me. They got me at 131
Yeah,
versus
it's
109.
131, 109. Yeah. So what do they hate about Ian?
Great question. Just not a good guy. He's just not a
Yeah,
good guy.
I think it's all of the early GGs. They're like just want
Yeah,
to punish him for it.
it makes sense. I guess. Yeah. Also, they have Dicker's the best kicker in the league. I don't know why he's projected for less than Prater. Um,
Well,
but Dicker single-handedly won Ian last week too. Like Dicker put up 20. So Ian has great special teams on the kicking and
abolish
defense.
kickers and defense.
Get
Get them
rid
the
of these
hell out of
fucking things.
here.
Let's see what would have happened without kickers and defense this week. But yeah, all right. So let's so that's the matchups. I think we've said most everything we need to say. Let's just quickly let's pick them and stick them, all right? Who you got? Sam versus Taffy. Dan.
Sammy. Give me Sammy.
This is the week that Sam comes back down to earth and we have another 8-1 upset. Taffy's going to pull it
Wow.
off. I got Taffy in an absolute shocker.
Wow.
Crony Spid versus Bill. Who you got?
You know who I'm picking.
I
Get
know
out
who
of here,
you're
Bill.
picking. And I am also going to pick Crony Spid only because I don't want to pick two crazy upsets, but I do like Bill. I think it's going to be very close. All right, Paulie Eric, very intriguing matchup. Who you got?
This is a tough one. Again, we've said it the entire time. Like this is the matchup to watch. This is the one that I think is going to come down to it on Sunday night and Monday Night Football. Um, as I said, I think Paulie will have the lead, and we'll see if Eric's D can get him back over is where he needs to be. I'm gonna lean Paulie. I'm going Paulie on this one.
Eileen Eric. I think that Hertz has a bounce back game. I think Barkley maybe doesn't have as big of a game. It's a total coin flip. But just looking at the two squads, I'm leaning Eric. And then for the last one, I'll recluse myself as I'm in the matchup. But who you got? Onions versus Sans Jeff.
I love you, man, but and I was gonna pick you, but when we went through the matchup just now, it flipped in my head.
Okay.
I gotta lean in.
Okay.
Again, I think he's got you and he's got sort of some decisions to make, obviously, with Higgins versus Dowdle and some other things, but you know, I'd be I'd be anxious to make the wrong decision at quarterback if I was you, and because of that, I'm gonna lean towards Ian.
I will not forget that, Dan, and I appreciate the honesty. I have some bulletin board material now. I think a lot of the leagues picking Ian. I know I've not scored a lot of points the last few weeks, but 5 weeks are over. Nut cutting time's over. Everyone's 0-0. And that's why they play the game. So best of luck to everyone who's going this week. To the basement crew, thanks for watching. To all our fans on YouTube, we are YouTubers. Hey guys, thank you for watching. And Dan, you've said it all. There's really nothing left to say, except for until next time, we'll see you on the Dynasty
Dynasty
Football
Football
Podcast.
Podcast.
Nailed it.